Hey all, we're gonna make a typing data sheet today. So what you're gonna end up making is a sheet like this here. It's gonna have information on it, date, test scores, overall, words per minute, symbols, lowercase alphabet, accuracy percentage, coverage percentage, and a number of earned badges, and then some other information below it where you find that stuff on your typingclub.com. So to start with, first thing you're gonna do is go to your Google Drive and go to your class in your grade, whatever it is, CSD, Digicom, whatever. And when you're in that folder and I see that it's selected and I know I'm in the right location, then I'm going to go to New and I'm going to create my new Google Sheet. Once you create your new Google Sheet, then the first thing you're going to do is, of course, rename it. So when we find it, boom, new sheet, then you come up and you name it. Click up top here and rename it last name dash first initial dash typing club data. So this is your information. You're going to make this sheet. And like I said, you've already made it. You're in the right folder. You've already created it. But let's say you do the old school way that a lot of people do, and you just go to Google Drive and you make your new sheet and you rename it and you say, oh, shoot, darn, I don't know that that's in the right location. Well, I can go up here and I can move it. So if I click on move, then I can move it wherever I want. So I can go up here and say I want to move it, and I find the folder I want to move it into, and I'm in that right folder. So I go back, if I go back to my drive and then scroll down and find my GMS folder, open my GMS folder and go down to my 7th grade if I'm in 7th grade, and I go to my Digicom class and I say move here, and that would move it to that location. So once I do click on move here, then it would go ahead and pop it into that new folder. So I've got it moved. Now I'm going to make my title. So I look at these and I want to make a date. So I start with that one. So no problem. Start out with date. Don't worry about the formatting right now. Just get the information in. Test score adjusted words per minute. So this is test score adjusted words per minute. And I know that that overlaps that, but don't worry about that. I'm going to fix that afterwards. Go back here, overall word per minutes. And this is going to be overall words WPM. And notice that it overlapped the other cell. This has more information in it right now, but this one overlaps it because I got it on, I don't have the word wrap turned on, so I'll fix that afterwards. So the next cell, go back and it's going to be symbols. See, that's one of the things that you're going to work on because it's kind of tough to do symbols, so they want to keep track of that. And then we've got lowercase alphabet. Oops, spell alphabet. This is one problem that we have with spelling, and I'll show you how to check that afterwards. Again, there's an overlap, so no problem. We'll fix it later. And accuracy percentage. Accuracy percentage. And the next one is the coverage percentage. And if you guys are smart, then you'll probably do like a split screen kind of thing, and you can do both of these instead of jumping back and forth like I am, but I'm not smart. So number of badges earned, number of badges. We don't need no stinking badges. That's a line from a movie, not one that you'd probably want to watch, but just you might know it. My parents might know it. And then today's date. And so this is where we're going to find this information. So I've got the cells up top of the headers, and then this is, I'm showing you where to find it. So today's date, the date, of course, would be today's date. And if you don't know where to find today's date, you can look down in the corner here, and it shows you today's date. So that's always nice. And then this one, test score adjusted word per minute, is from typingtest.com, which we're going to be taking. Typingtest.com. And so that's a link. And notice because I put .com on it, it says, hey, I think that that's a link, and it makes a link for us. So that's kind of cool. I don't even have to create the link. It already did it for us. I like that. And then this one here. Now this is different. Notice it's three cells wide. So don't worry about that right now. We're just going to type it in Speedbox top section. So I'm going to say in Speedbox top section. There we go. One box there. And then this next one here is all the way over under accuracy and coverage in Speedbox bottom section. So I go all the way over to accuracy and I say in Speedbox bottom section. And I'm going to show you how to make those things go on multiple lines here in a minute. And the last thing is Badges tab top black bar. So this is the Badges tab top black bar. Okay, so I've got all my information there. Now I got to make it look pretty like this one here. So these cells are bigger. They have 3 lines on them. So what I'll do first off is, because this here is not going to fit in that cell, is I'm going to format it. So I go under the Format tab, and I'm going to change the text wrapping right now. I'm going to change the texting. Right now it's on overflow, and I'm going to change this to wrap. So when I click on wrap, then it says, okay, I think this would be broken after that second word. That seems like that will work. So test score, adjusted words per minute. That looks pretty good. How did I have it? I had test score, adjusted words per minute. I had it on 3 different lines there. So I can change this. I can say where I want this to break. So right here is my text. So if I want to say test score adjusted, the way I have this one set is a test score is by itself, and then adjusted is on the next line, and then words per minute is on the third line. So here I have test score and adjusted, it does it automatically, but I want this words per minute, I want that to be on the third line. So I'm going to put my cursor between those two, and if I hold the control key down and I hit enter, then it automatically puts that on in a next line. It puts a break in there. So when I click on this cell, now I can see that I've got some text on one line and second letter text is squirting down on the next line. So that's how I put a break manually on my text, is putting a control enter. Because if I just hit enter, it's going to lock it in and I go to the next cell. But if I hold the control key down and hit enter, it makes a new line. So looking at that, I want to do that same thing over here, overall words per minute. So here, overall words per minute, I want that to be overall end break it. So I put the cursor there, hit the control and enter, and that drops it down to a second line. So I have symbols, lowercase alphabet. So when I go here, lowercase alphabet is broken also. So I'll go there. And again, I could do this 2 ways. I could do a text wrap, so I can format it and I can change my text wrapping and I can wrap it that way, or I could put a manual break in there, either way. And then the other ones, let's see, the other ones are there. And then number of badges earned, same thing. I'm going to go ahead and do a formatting on that one. And if I remember, the last thing I did is I formatted this. So if I go to this one and I do Control Y, that repeats the last thing I did. So I don't even have to go into the formatted to Control Y. So anything I do, if I want to repeat it, Control Y. If I look under the edit pull down, Control Y is redo. So redo the last thing. So if I do something and I want to repeat it multiple times, like we did in our battleship thing, then I can do redo. So I've got that. Those are set up. They're pretty good, but they're not centered. So if I look at my picture here, these are all centered. They look kind of pretty. So I'm going to select all of these, click and drag through all of them, and I'm going to change my formatting, my alignment. Again, this could be under format if I want. I go under format and I can do my alignment down there, or is it under edit? No, it's under format. Or I can do it right here. Click on the formatting and I'm going to do center, and that centers all of my text nice and pretty. Now they look a lot better. And then the bottom ones, I'm going to do the same kinds of things. Look at those. I've got multiple lines on the first one, today's date. So go here. And if I want to put a break in there, I can do a manual break. This speed box section, that's different. That one's different. So the last one, let's do the last one first. Same thing. That one I want to make it look like badges tab. It's the badges tab is where I'm looking, and it's the top black bar. So 2 different lines on that. So in badges tab is where I want to do it. And then I hit enter, and Top black bar is the second line. So now I've got that locked in. Same thing. Now with these ones, let's look at this here. Notice I said it's in 3 cells here. This one text is in 3 different cells and it overlaps, or it made one big huge box. So that's an easy way to do that. I just select the 3 boxes. So now they're all 3 highlighted because I want this text to be across all 3 of those and I want them linked together. Right now there's lines dividing those and I don't want those lines there. So I select all 3 cells and then I go up here to merge cells. Click on merge cells and I'll remove the lines and it made that one box. If I select here, you can see these are all one cell. And when I select up here, now that whole thing is selected as one cell. And I can do the same thing here. Select both of these cells. They're both highlighted and go up here and do my merge. Boom, it merges both of them. And now they're merged. So I've got a big cell there and a big cell there. And all of these cells, I want them all to be centered. So I'm going to click and drag through all of them again. And I'm going to go up to my center, my alignment, and I'm going to do center. So now they're all centered in each one of those boxes. Then I can go back and we can make some changes. Looking at these, we got some of them are red font. The directions are in red font where to find that stuff. The titles, the headers are in black font, and I've got borders on everything. So we can go back here and they're all going to have the same border. So I can select all the text there and go under my borders and click on all borders. So it puts a top, bottom, left, and right. So now they all have a borders. And like I said, these all want to be red. So I can select those and I can change, because I'm looking at this text here. All this text is red except for the link. That's blue. So I could leave that blue, deselect that, and just select the text itself, or just do all the cells. It doesn't really matter. I just know when it's blue, I know it's a link. So right now, let's go ahead and check those, change those to red, and they're all red, and I'm going to bold them just to kind of make them stand out a little bit. So now I see all these are red, and I'm going to do the headers and make those bold too. So highlight all those and change the formatting to bold. So now my headers look nice. The red below to where to find the stuff, so I always remember. And then I'm ready to enter my data every day. So I go in and put today's date, and I'll put in my adjusted score, put in my overall words per minute, my symbols, my lowercase scores, my accuracy percentage, coverage percentage, and my number of badges earned. The typing test, this adjusted word score, we're only going to do that probably once a week or maybe once a month even, but the rest of the stuff we're going to put in once a week. So all this is done. I've renamed it initially, so it's ready to go. And then anytime I want to add data to this, I just go to my folder, open up the folder, find the file. So I go to my folder, go to my 7th grade, go to my Digicom, and if I did it right and I moved it, I didn't move this one, then it would be in that folder. So there you go. We're going to get that ready to go.